Hey everyone, welcome back to Catching Up with the Walkers. Thanks for stopping by this morning. We appreciate you very much.
Good morning, everybody.
And today we wanted to start off with something to go with our coffee.
Something to go with our Joe.
So somebody got up and made some blueberry muffins. Homemade?
I mean, you made them in our home.
Kind of a homemade. So there was a pre-made mix involved. But a little tip that I always do with my blueberry muffins is I always add, let me get up here, get this. I always add extra blueberries to fill up those muffins. So even if you buy the store-bought blueberry muffins, if you'll just take some fresh blueberries and like double or triple the amount of berries in it, I always think they turn out way better.
Yes, but make sure they cool off fully before you bite into them, because those big, round, plump blueberries, hot when you pop them in your mouth, burn you.
Yes.
Know from experience.
And we love to get the fresh blueberries from the You Pick It Yourself farm.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great one over by Pryor called the Outback Blueberry Farms. And we haven't went this year. So I don't know if there's still enough time, but we really need to go.
It's so hot.
Because we usually get 2 or 3 gallons of berries at a time and put them in the freezer and just in quart-sized bags and eat on them for basically a whole year.
Yeah.
So need to do that.
So today we are going to answer all your important questions.
Or at least
or just one.
one of probably the most common questions that we get on
Walker Farm Fam.
Walker Farm Fam. And we may have even got it here before. I don't remember.
Probably. We get it everywhere. Walker Farm Fam, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Catching Up with the Walkers. So it's a hot topic and apparently a very important question.
So many of you have asked, where did you get your children's names? Where did those names come from? And they're so unique, is what everybody says. They've never heard one or all of them before, and they are unique. I'll give you that. That is a good question.
Is Ranger Walker named after Walker, Texas Ranger?
Chuck Norris, my hero, my most important action figure in life.
Do you remember that one time that Ranger was sick and I went to get his prescription at the pharmacy?
Yeah.
And the lady hands it to me and she said, I just have one question. What is your son Ranger's middle name? And I said, Lee? And she goes, oh, okay, thank you. And I walked off and she turns around, guys, it's Lee.
Like, you weren't still standing right in front of her?
She said, everybody, it's Lee. It's not Texas or whatever they thought it was going to be. I guess they were having like Annies and Bets and stuff back there. But we get that quite often. We almost didn't name him that because of Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah, so flashback to 2011, the year Ranger was born. And he's got a birthday coming up, July 18th.
He does.
It won't be long. He's going to be
10
years old. Wow.
I don't even want to think about it. I really want to eat that muffin now because I'm sad.
Double digits. So, 10 years ago, we were getting close to Ranger being born. People, we knew he was a boy. Mm-hmm. The normal
14 weeks, 12 weeks,
12 weeks in or something. But people started asking, what are you going to name him? What have you thought of the names and what?
And we knew, but we didn't want to say because we thought people would make fun of it. Yeah. We thought our family would think we're crazy, which they were like, are you sure? So I came up with other names. I like the name Carter, but Carter Walker kind of sounds funny.
Carter, what was that one that you
I liked Grayson.
Grayson.
Because I liked that it was like Gary's son, which he saw that as a girl's name instead of a boy's name.
Well, I just didn't like it. I was like, Gray.
Which, if anyone out there's Grayson, that's a great name. It just wasn't for Gary.
I wasn't a fan of that for my son. I didn't think it was a good strong name like Ranger. So
I liked Carter.
Carter Grayson.
But Carter Walker was weird. People said we should name him Ridge. I liked the name Ridge, but Ridge Walker. And so there was just a lot of different names, and we kept going back to Ranger. We loved the name Ranger.
Who came up with it? Was it me?
Probably.
I think I came up with it.
We'll give you the credit.
And I pitched I'm pretty sure I pitched it as an idea thinking that she wouldn't go for it. And I remember her saying something like, Ranger Walker, are you serious? Ranger Walker? And I said, well, think of it this way. If our last name wasn't Walker, do you like the name Ranger? She said, yeah, I do. With hesitation. And so Ranger Walker, once we said that name.
And then we told our family, and they're like, are you sure? And we're like, we don't want to not name him that because there's a TV show out there about it, because in 10 or 15 years.
Or 30 years or 40 years.
Yeah, no one's going to know what it is. And there's like, kids don't think twice about it. Adults, they hear it and they're like, what? When we used to do play days, and he did mutton busting and different things like that. Play days are like rodeos for kids, but then we'd go to bigger rodeos, and he did mutton busting a couple of times, and the announcers always had fun with that. Ranger Walker, and they would do this big old thing. And so older people have a lot of fun with it and have a lot of questions. Younger people are like, that's a cool name.
Yeah, Ranger. And Ranger has that tie back to Keeper of the Forest. And so we were always both outdoors type people, and we thought it was a perfect fit.
Yeah, my grandpa was a forest ranger. He was on the forestry. And so that was kind of a tie. Not a tie, but like a tied back.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
A family tie.
Yeah. So it was just something we really liked.
And then Lee is his middle name, and that ties back to my middle name and my dad's middle name and my grandpa's little name. So we're a whole 4 generations of Lees there. I need to see what my great grandpa's middle name was on that side. I know it wasn't on the other side, but
probably Lee.
Could have been Lee. I'm going to find out. Now I got to call my grandpa tomorrow and say, hey, let's get this straight. Was it Lee or not? But that's Ranger. That was, the one that we had the most say over.
Yeah.
That was the one that we actually decided. So for those of you asking, yes, we came up with that. We get all the credit.
Yes, and Ranger is our biological son. And then there's Mazzy, who we have adopted as our daughter through adoption. And her name grew on us, and we always liked it. It was always different. And we had Ranger, which is different, and Mazzy, so it kind of went together. People laughed and said, well, if you had like Ranger, Mazzy, and then like a Joseph, like that doesn't go together. Yeah. So everything is kind of just fallen in with the unique names. But do you want to talk about Mazzy's name?
Yeah, so Mazzy's name was unique from the very beginning. And
we weren't even sure how to say it at first. A lot of you guys say Maisie. And when we go to doctor's office and things, people call her Maisie. But we found out it was Mazzy, like Jazzy. So sorry, I'll let you go.
Yeah, and that's what we started calling her right there from the beginning. Once we knew exactly how it was supposed to be said. And the name Mazzy was so unique that even early on we talked about...
We had no clue where it came from.
Yeah, we had no idea where it came from. But early on we talked about, would we keep this name, would we not? But and before the history of the name itself, if you call somebody a name for 2 years, because Mazzy was in foster care for 2 years, after you call somebody that name for 2 years, we could have changed it. Mm-hmm. We could have changed it to anything. But after we called her that for 2 years, she was Mazzy, and she fit that name so well, we weren't going to change it.
And we felt like that would be confusing as a 2-year-old if we did.
So where did that name Mazzy come from exactly?
Well, we weren't sure until a friend of ours said, Mazzy Star, when she was just a few days old, and we went to the church Bible school, I think it was, and we're like, what? And apparently there is a band called Mazzy Star, and she was named, come to find out, she was named after the band Mazzy Star.
It was like an 80s rock band, Mazzy Star, and they had just put out a brand new album like the week that Mazzy was born.
Yeah. So...
coincidence? Probably not.
That was very unique. But more unique is how much Mazzy loves to sing. So we're glad that we kept that name. We're glad that it has stuck with her because she loves to sing and she's an amazing singer. We may be a little biased, but if you guys have watched Walker Farm Fam on those little glimpses and pieces that she'll sing because she's still a little shy, she has an amazing voice.
Well, and when a child loves to sing, and I always tell her that she was born with a song in her heart. Like when a child loves to sing that much, and like I said, we are probably biased, but it's just music to our ears, joyful noises that we just love to hear. So
yeah, and ever since she was little, we would call her May May, Mazzy May, and so we changed her middle name to May. We had a disagreement on the spelling, but
between us and her, she's still
between me and you.
Oh, she still thinks it's M-A-Y.
Yeah, Gary wanted it spelled M-A-Y. I wanted it spelled M-A-E. Well, he had never heard of it M-A-E. And at some point in the paperwork, when it was filed, they changed it to M-A-E. So
there you go.
Well, what it was changed to.
Mazzy May May. So brings us to last, certainly not least at this point. Might not be the last forever, but at this point is the last.
The last one we can talk about.
Yes, the last name we can mention is Ransom Zane. And Ransom, pretty much the same situation we went through with Mazzy. We had him
16 months.
Foster care for 16 months. Once you call somebody Ransom for 16 months and they grow into that name, it fits them so well, we couldn't change it. It's
perfect for him because sometimes I feel like he's going to hold somebody ransom, or that probably sounds bad, but you know what I mean? Like just a little mess or a stinker or edgy or hard-headed, I don't know, but Ransom fits him very well.
And most importantly, his middle name, Zane, was a name that was tied back to Cassie's grandpa.
Yes, my same grandpa that was a forest ranger.
Yeah.
Ranger of the forest.
Keeper of the forest.
Yeah, his name was Zane, and so that was Ransom's middle name, and so it fit perfect. So we got Ranger Lee, Mazzy May, and Ransom Zane.
And on Rangers, not the first year, I think when he was 2 years old, no, maybe when he was 3, when he dressed up as Chuck Norris.
Oh, yeah.
So he was Chuck Norris at least one time in his life.
He was older than that because Ransom was, what's his partner's name? Trevette,
yeah.
Yeah, so
Ranger and Trevette.
Ransom had to have been going on 2 or just turned 2.
Oh, so he was a lot older.
And so Ranger would have been like
5.
Yeah. Ish. I'm not doing math right now.
But later in life.
Anyway, they were Ranger and Trevette, and it was awesome.
He can bring that back out of the Halloween closet at any point in life because he's Ranger Walker. And we are fans. Like, I was a big fan growing up of Walker, Texas Ranger, the whole series that ran.
Ranger has 7 of the DVDs that his aunt got him, and he likes to watch those. So we have introduced him to Ranger Walker, and he thinks it's pretty cool.
It's clean most of the time. Every once in a while, you'll get a bar scene or something.
We didn't let him start watching it till he got a little older, so that he can decipher through the right and wrong that they do on it.
Yeah, but the end of it's always the same.
It's always good, clean fun. With Ranger
Chuck
Walker.
Norris comes back. He gets down, flies out of a helicopter, busts through a Cadillac window.
Ranger used
takes
to get
out the
real
guy with his fist.
And then he would look at me and say, "But Ranger always wins, doesn't he, Mama?"
Yes, Ranger. Walker, Texas Ranger always wins. So we had a lot of fun though with those names. So hopefully that clears up some of the cloud around those names and where they came from and why our children are named that. They're all unique names, so we're pretty happy with them. Couldn't see it.
Not changing them now.
Really couldn't see it any other way. So we'll save the boring names for our pets, like Susie and JoJo and Xena. I guess.
Say that some of these people's names are that.
Well, I mean, not as
Gary
unique.
and Cassie.
Yeah, not as unique. My name's one of them. Gary is pretty common. Thanks,
Cassie
Mom
is,
and Dad. Just joking.
More common than you would think, but it's still pretty rare.
It is.
Well, Cassie, not Cassandra.
I think it's shortened a lot from Cassandra.
Cassidy. My name is Cassie, not Cassidy or Cassandra. Most Cassie's names are Cassidy.
Okay, Cassandra.
No, that's what my 4th grade teacher called me when I was in trouble. Thank you, Mrs. Wilhoit. You're probably watching.
She's probably not. How about this?
I think she does.
About this
Miss
muffin?
Wilhoy, if you watch, I know you watch Instagram and Facebook and things. If you watch this, comment down below so I can prove Gary wrong. Are you eating a muffin on TV?
It was
or
really tempting me.
Camera?
So I had to take a bite.
Well, that means I got to talk. It's a good thing I like to talk. So those are our children's names. Lots of questions in that, and we don't mind answering. And this is Catching Up with the Walkers, Planning and Praying. So when it comes to the planning part of the channel, what do we have for past and present and future?
So let's go with the past first. So catching up, we've done...
While you talk, I'm going to...
Oh, now you're getting to eat some of my muffin? I thought that was mine. So some of our last videos were Ranger and Ransom and myself camping. And I told you guys on this channel that we were going to go camping. And we had a great time. There was one little like downside, and so
that you should have talked about on video, but you didn't.
yeah, I like.
You know, you're so irritated about something, you just can't talk
Well,
about
it
it.
happened in the middle of the night, and I didn't think it was a big deal, so I didn't talk about it. But I probably should have. You're right.
You did think it was a big deal because it's the first thing you told me when I talked
Well,
to you.
it's like I got to fix this problem. Is why. So we got all our mattresses blown up. We got all that done. And then we went to bed about 11 o'clock. Fireworks were going off. We were still kind of watching fireworks. I said, watch fireworks as long as you want. Just zip it closed when you want. So that's what I told the boys. I went to sleep. Well, about 1 o'clock rolls
I
around.
bet they opened your plug.
No, they didn't. Because it had went down some earlier and I had added air right before bedtime. So about 1 o'clock, I woke up on the ground because my air mattress lost every bit of its air, or not every bit. It was still up quite a bit, but like the middle of my back was touching the ground and it was still kind of blown up. And so
It was like an air bubble.
I tried to fall asleep again on the ground for like another hour or two. Wasn't having it. So like 3 o'clock, finally I was like, all right, I'm gonna catch up with comments. I'm catching up with the walkers. I want to see what you guys are up to because I couldn't sleep. And 4 o'clock, I went outside and started stroking the fire up, started getting my coffee ready because my day was started. And so that was the only downside of camping was that happened. But
I'm glad I told him, I'm glad you figured that out before I go.
Yeah, if we both would have been on that queen size air mattress and we both would have been awake from like 1 o'clock in the morning till 6 a.m., we probably would have been at each other or something. So, lesson learned. I've been researching better options. There's some really good ones.
The better options, though, are expensive.
Yeah, apparently they don't give stuff away when it's like quality. So I'm trying to like decide, am I going to stay in hotels the rest of my life at this point, or am I going to camp? And I think I want to be camping more because the boys really did enjoy it. They had a lot of fun. And if we would have been in other places, like swimming was an option, or a lake where we could have been fishing, I think they would have enjoyed it even more. And so, I mean, we had the fireworks this time, and that was the whole reason we went there.
Yeah.
So, we'll be camping
and maybe
more.
when it's not like 95 degrees.
Yeah, we'll be camping more. Cooler weather, lakes, streams, rivers. So, I'm probably going to invest. The one I'm looking at is like a self-inflating, self-deflating mat. And it's like 4 inches thick of foam. So it's like got foam built into it.
I saw that one. I like it.
And so that's probably the one I'm going to go with. I've been watching the Outdoor Boys on one of their reviews because he like camps all the time. And this
If
one's
you want
good.
the good stuff, you find a professional.
This one's good for cold weather too. So that was fun though. Camping was a blast. That was just the only thing that we kind of didn't announce, but it wasn't a huge deal. I didn't try to let it ruin the boys. I didn't tell them about it because I didn't want them to be all worried about it.
Yeah. And on the video before that was us losing some of our chickens and turkeys, and had a lot of messages about, isn't that an electrical fence, or you need an electrical fence? So yes, that is electric poultry netting. The charger battery was on, it was working. The problem was there was a low spot that we had never noticed. So like, I don't know, there's a little gap in that low spot.
Maybe like a 3-inch, 4-inch gap. Nothing,
Yeah.
nothing huge.
But that bottom wire, the black wire, is not electrified so that it doesn't ground out. When that's on the ground like this, they're gonna have to lift it up or do something to get it up, and that's gonna, you know, but since there was a little bit of a gap and then they dug a little bit, it was a different story.
They had dug, and then if they would have put their head under there and got like halfway and then raised up and got shocked, it's probably going to send them into the pen faster. Another thing that I don't know how hard the shock was, because it has been the driest that week. Like right as they were mowing our hay, it had not rained for probably 10 or 12 days. And if you know anything about the electricity, when you get really dry weather, your ground gets weaker. So your ground wire isn't as strong, so it might not have been shocking as good. But I did check the fence, I tested it afterwards, and it was shocking. So
well, and
who knows?
Like a lot of people commented, coyotes jump, like they can jump really well. So we're not sure what happened. I think mowing the hay and them probably coming in because they know there's going to be dead things out in that hay, and then it was like, there's a whole bunch of chickens right there, let's go get it.
Yeah. But we're just blessed that they didn't take everything.
Yes.
I took our
They only took the pretty ones. No.
One of our hens, a newer one, a younger hen that would have been a great one. Our main rooster, and our tom turkey, and our favorite chicken Grace. So if you didn't watch that video, go check it out over at Walker Farm Fam. But hopefully that answers some of their questions.
Yeah. So future videos. Sorry, my nose itches. Future videos.
So we have another update that we got to do in the next couple of days over our runner ducks. So they're out in our garden doing their thing with the bugs.
Is the garden demolished, or do we still have a garden?
There is one thing that's got hit pretty hard, but you just have to wait for the video to see how the runner ducks are doing. And I have a new tool from Haas Tools that I'm going to be trying out while we update you on those runner ducks. So I got that all put together. It's a wheel hoe, so I'll go ahead and tell you that. So you want to check that out, because I've wanted one of these for a while now, and they've been out of stock because they're such a great seller. They're high quality, made out of great materials. So I'm going to try that out on the next video too.
Yeah, and I've got a few things in the mail that we got because it was things that I would use or that I've been seeing and thought, oh, that's something I could use. Gary might use some of them a little here and there, but it's more for things for me.
Oh,
I mean,
look at that. Makeup, lipstick.
Yeah, because they wear so much.
So if you don't know, Cassie does not wear makeup, like ever. Like maybe how many times a year?
Well, we sometimes take family pictures.
Easter?
Maybe.
Probably not.
School pictures, because it's going to be in the yearbook. And if I have to be in a wedding or something, which that hasn't happened in a while.
So 3, maybe
People
4.
are like, she don't wear makeup, she ain't gonna be in my wedding.
So her makeup bag, literally, how old is that makeup in there?
So you remember when the New York Times came to our house?
Yeah.
We should talk about that sometime.
Oh yeah, the New York Times came to our house and interviewed us.
That's when I bought new makeup.
Okay, it's been a few years. So anyway, sorry to get all sidetracked on that. Cassie don't wear makeup.
We'll talk about that in the next video, maybe.
And we are
not my makeup, but the New York Times.
I am perfectly happy with that fact. That she does not spend extra money on makeup because she's so beautiful, she does not need it.
Oh, you're so kind.
It's the truth.
But what I mean is tools and gadgets that are more geared towards what I would use them for. This doesn't make any sense, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So trying them out here and there. Gary actually used the little handheld chainsaw in your camping video.
Yeah, I did.
So Gary's got 2 chainsaws. If he's going to go use a chainsaw, he's probably going to use one of them. But I wanted this little handheld one for when I just want to clear some limbs or do something, and I don't want to lug the big chainsaw around or whatever. So I have a bad back. I think we've talked about that. So
lightweight.
Yes, upper body doing this and that isn't real good for me. So I just realized how long we've been talking. So let's finish this up, because y'all probably don't want to hear us talk all day. But
and there's more of a muffin that, like, this thing needs to be eaten. See that?
Yeah.
I'm just now getting to the good part with all the blueberries.
So I had a message the other day from one of you guys that asked for you to be praying for your family, specifically your husband. And please know that we are praying for you. They asked us not to share details and things, but please know that we're praying for you and for everyone else. I guess that would be like an unspoken prayer request. Yeah. God knows the need and what is happening. And I just pray that you would pray for this subscriber that they're needing some
special prayer.
Yeah, like medical needs and things. So we thank you guys so much for going down in the comments and reading each other's prayer requests. Those of you that message us with prayer requests and things, please know we read those, we pray for those, and we hope that you go down and read and pray for others as well.
And just a quick update, my Aunt Joyce is doing better. She's out of the hospital, still recovering though, and everything is going better. So thank you for those prayers. And one other prayer request, our friends Casey and Kelly had a house fire. So they lost basically every single thing they had except for their, obviously their pets and their children. And I think they were able to back a couple of cars out of the garage. And so they got a lot going on right now, a lot of chaos in their life. Yes. Instantly just from losing everything.
Thankfully they were able to get the kids out and their pets out, but
yeah, everything that mattered.
As they were saying, they went to Walmart and were overwhelmed just walking through because they're like, we don't have toothbrushes, we don't have like basic things. You got to start from scratch, and so we praise the Lord that they were safe and they were able to get out. But please be praying with them as they start all over and start rebuilding. We have an amazing church family and community that has rallied around and helping and things. But it's kind of overwhelming right now because everyone wants to give, do, and they're like, we got to figure out where to start.
Yeah. So the biggest thing they really need is prayer. Yes. At this point, because they have to, things have to get put into place before the physical needs really come around. But be praying for them that everything gets straightened out.
We thank you guys so much for watching today. We hope you have a great, great day. And as always, God bless.